Hey everybody, what's up? It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and we're making our way down to our mats into a comfortable, easy seated position for today's yin yoga practice. I'm recommending having some blocks nearby. I got a strap nearby just in case. And for now, we're just sitting on the floor. If cross-legged does not feel comfortable for you, please make an adjustment to something that does. And if you find that you're sitting on the floor and your knee or knees are coming all the way up to your chest, go ahead, grab your block. Let's use it to begin with. Simply sitting up on a block or a folded up towel can help you create that slope so that your knees are pointing down towards the floor and your hips are starting to open. Okay. As we come into our breath, grounding through your sit bones, a gentle engagement of your low belly can keep your back feeling good here. Shoulders relaxed and released away from your ears. Inhale creates a gentle length through the crown of your head. And exhale, you simply relax and let go. Start to use your inhales to truly scan your body and notice how and where you're feeling. Where might there be a little tension or tiredness? Maybe you notice that you're hinging forward or leaning back a lot. So just work to create heaviness in your elbows. Hands can be supported in your lap. If you're finding that your eye gaze is moving around everywhere, simply close your eyes. Tune into your breath, into this moment. We're going to hang out here for 2 more minutes. Setting an intention for your practice today, perhaps a positive affirmation that you return to help stay focused. I'm working on my positive affirmation, but the idea that I am capable and responsible of creating positive and permanent change is really what I'm bringing to all of 2024. And if that's a mantra that feels good for you, then go with it. Otherwise, such wonderful thoughts. Simply, you're worthy. I'm worth it. There's no one better to be than myself. Today is going to be an amazing day. And as you notice that you're thinking of anything besides this stretch, this moment, this breath right now, come back to your intention if you've set one. 1 minute to go right here. As we move through practice today, allow yourself to be inspired to create shapes and movements that feel right for you. We're working to find some stillness, so no stretch so deep that you perpetually increase the stretch and then reduce the stretch. Where can you stay today and allow your breath to be the number one guide? And with that being said, if I'm doing an asana that just doesn't honor you, doesn't make you feel good, is a little too uncomfortable, create something that does, whether it's similar or totally different. Be your own guide. I'm just here to create some suggestions. One more long, slow, deep inhale. And on your exhale, bring your hands down to the floor in front of you. Option to pull your chest forward, find some big lifted length, or perhaps create that rounding. Find the stretch that feels good for you. I'm going to bring myself down to the floor. So sit bones still pressing either onto the floor or your block or your folded up towel if you're still sitting on one. And as you create this meaningful stretch, most likely somewhere through your back, how can you relax your arms or your hands? How can you relax your face? We're going to work to spend at least 2 minutes in every stretch today. That gives our body the time to overcome the sensation of, whoa, what's happening? And simply relax and create some space. And your other job is to just keep breathing, because that's how we truly create that relaxation. My favorite way to stay present in a yin yoga practice is to count the length of my breath, with the goal being that exhale is longer than your inhale, which also helps to keep your heart rate nice and low, slow, calm. Take your time, begin to walk your hands over to the right side. Keep your left sit bone firmly planted down on the floor. Left shoulder might draw towards the front of the room. Right shoulder might draw back. Maybe you even have your hands on top of each other, but they can be separate. Let's come into our stillness right here. Find that one spot. Relax your eyes. Relax your mind. Simply be. Well, I say simply, but honestly, quieting your mind and your headspace can be very challenging. And that's also why I like to count, still doing something, but that something is related to being in this moment and in this breath and the deep thoughts and possibilities and the opportunities that this next breath might bring. So, whatever tension and tiredness you're feeling right now, that you notice on your inhale, using your exhale to create space, acceptance, and let go of anything that you can't control. But I bet you can do your best to control your relaxed, slow breathing. Remember, if your eyes are moving, your mind is moving. So that one spot to relax your eyes, relax your mind, relax your breath. We're gently going to take the stretch to the other side of the mat. So as you're ready, hands walk all the way over to the left. Right sit bone stays down on the floor. Right shoulder might draw forward as left shoulder draws back. Keeping that gentle draw in of your belly to keep your back feel good. As you're ready, start to walk your hands back through to center. Lift yourself up. Let's bring our hands behind our hips. Soles of the feet come down to the floor. Take a moment, just windshield wipe your legs. Perhaps each time you windshield wipe your outer thighs, your inner thighs might come closer to the floor. You can have your feet really nice and wide, or if it feels better to have your legs closer together, you're doing what feels good for you today. And you can windshield wipe fast or you can windshield wipe slow. And then extend your legs nice and long. Keep your hands behind you. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a proud lift of your chest. Stretch your chin up towards the ceiling. And then chin back down to your chest. Take a moment. Stack your shoulders over your hips. And it's really normal if your hamstrings are tight that there's actually a lot of rounding, that your shoulders are behind your hips. If that's the case, start by pulling your chest forward and then walk your hips back one at a time. Just working to create a hinge from your hips. Fingers can stay right by them for a little staff pose. You can even bring a generous bend to your knees. But if you're ready or you want a little bit more, you can start to fold yourself forward, bringing your belly towards your thighs. So we want to make sure belly's coming towards the thighs and that we don't have that rounding coming back into our backs here, where there's no support for your upper body against your legs. And that block can also come into play as something that you place between your upper and lower body. And let's hang out here, either lifted, supported in your staff pose, or starting to cocoon in your gentle little caterpillar for one more full minute. On your next inhale, low belly pulls in, walk yourself back up. Let's take a couple moments. We're going to lay down on our back and start to bring some hip openers there. So lay down on your back, draw your knees in towards your chest. Take a moment, rock gently side to side. Get your upper back, shoulders firmly planted on the floor. And then perhaps giving yourself a couple small circles of your knees to massage your low back down to the mat. Change direction of those gentle little knee circles. And then we'll send a lot of blood flow to the heart, legs up the imaginary wall. If you need to, roll gently side to side. Bring your thumbs underneath of your buns, and your elbows can be like a little tripod supporting yourself. Check out if your chin is stretching all the way up towards the ceiling and if the back of your neck is off of the floor. And if so, pull your chin to your chest. Scroll along through the crown of your head. Simply relax and breathe right here. As generous of a bend of your knees as you want or need. And it might just be one vertebra at a time, but take some moments on your exhales and try and sink more of your spine to your mat. How does it feel when you press your tips of your shoulders, your upper back, shoulder blades to the mat? Find that pressure through your middle back, the back ribs, and from your low back to the floor as well. And then on your next exhale, release the left foot down to the floor. Stretch that right leg up again. Really try and touch the ceiling with your toe. Take a couple moments and just point and flex your toe. We're getting a little bit of movement in our yin yoga practice. It's okay. The yin yoga police will not come after us. Perhaps you make some circles with your ankle in one direction. circles with your ankle in the opposite direction. And when you're ready, we're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh, getting that front side hip opener, figure four stretch. Your hand can even come to your inner thigh and press it away from you, or you can relax more of the back of your head and shoulders on the mat and just work to take that little squeeze of your glute so that your right knee is coming away from your face. Hand to your hip flexor, just resting here can also help to provide some warmth. And as you relax here for a few breaths, notice if you rolled a lot to one side. Did a glute come off of the floor? Can you firmly plant both of your cheeks on the mat, as much of your low back, hips on the floor as possible, while still sending that knee away from you to open the front side of the body? You can stay right here, opening the front side of the hip for one more minute, or you can finish this stretch up by lifting your left leg off of the floor, bringing a little bit of love to the back side of the right thigh, and your left knee can either just come towards your chest, gentle little stretch, or you can weave your hand through. But if weaving your hand through means that your upper back and body are no longer supported on the floor, go back to where you have that support of the mat. Feel free to do less and feel more. It is not all or nothing. It's what does your body need today? And on your next exhale, left foot returns to the floor. Uncross your legs, right leg also comes down to the mat. Just take a moment, take a full cycle of breath, low back firmly planted. On your next inhale, left leg goes up towards the ceiling. Take a moment, point your toe, try and touch the ceiling, and then flex your toes to the face. Try and stretch and press your heel towards the ceiling. You can point and flex your toes a couple more times. When you're ready, making those circles with your ankle in one direction, making circles with your ankle in the opposite direction. And then crossing left ankle over right thigh. Left knee comes away from your nose. Hand can come and apply some pressure or some warmth. And after a breath or two, start to notice if you're rolled to one glute and just work to firmly press your whole low back on the mat. Complete relaxation here. Chin still pulled towards your chest. Leg through the crown of your head, shoulders away from your ears. You can stay here opening the front side of the left hip, or on your next inhale, pick your right foot up off of the floor, right knee coming towards your nose, left knee still trying to go away from your face though. Gravity can do the work, or you can have a hand on top of your right knee, or thread the needle, or use your strap, but do your best. Relax the back of your head back to the mat. I've just got a couple breaths to go. Beautiful. Right foot can come down to the floor to help you release. Inhale, left leg up towards the sky, and then send that right leg back up to meet it. Bend both of your knees, knees coming towards your armpits. Hands can come behind your thighs for a little happy baby, or perhaps you walk your hands up your legs. You can grab hold of the outside of your feet. You can grab hold of your big toe. You can just grab hold of your socks if you're wearing them. Find where the stretch feels okay for you, and then option to rock side to side. Give yourself a massage on your back. Maybe kick one leg out wide or wider than the other. Be the happiest little version of a stretching you that you can be. And then we'll take some stillness in 1 minute with a nice long reclined bound angle. So that feet together butterfly posture is also coming your way. But for now, just create those stretches, breathe through it. This past week was Valentine's Day, and maybe hearing that brings tension back to you, or maybe it brings lots of delightful blood flow to your heart. But frequently, we tend to store emotions in our hips. So whether you're stressed from work-life balance or anything else, we're here today to release those stored emotions. So go with it. Enjoy what you can. Bring the soles of your feet together for a little control. We're going to release feet back down towards the floor. As they touch down, press into the outer edges of your feet. Take a moment to lift your hips up in a glute bridge and then relax back down towards the floor. If the outer edges of your thighs aren't touching the floor, you have two options. You can walk, wiggle your toes closer towards the bottom of the mat. That might bring the outer edges of your thighs to the floor. Or you can use your blocks. We've got these props here, so why not enjoy them? I highly encourage you to use them. Give yourself the opportunity to let your thighs press against something, because we're going to hang out here in this reclined bound angle for 4 minutes. So find a spot on the ceiling to relax your eyes or simply close them. Start to scan your body 1 inch at a time. Notice if that chin is stretching up towards the ceiling, and if your chin did stretch up towards the ceiling, again, draw it towards your chest. Support the back of your head, the back of your neck on your mat. Arms can do whatever they want to do. If you want a nice big stretch through your shoulders, through your back, arms can extend all the way up overhead. If you want to stretch through your pecs, you can have some goalpost arms to the side. Your arms can also stay closer to you by your mat, a little easier for your blood flow and circulation. Just find what feels right. Where can you relax? Breathe. Simply be and do your best to let go, one breath at a time. Completely supported by your mat, by your breath, and by yourself. If you moved your arms away from the center line of your body, bring your arms back down by your sides. You can move these blocks away from your side as well. Bend your knees, soles of the feet back down to the floor. Take a moment, windshield wipe your legs left and right as fast or as slow as you want. 1 minute here to just create a little bit more movement again, exploring your ranges of motion here. We're going to keep working those hips, so I'm sorry that in about 20 seconds we're going to sit ourselves back up. Take a couple more postures from an upright position before we get to lay back down on the floor together. So your choice, allow your knees to fall to whichever side feels meaningful or right for you today, and then press yourself up to a seated position. Yay! We're going to kick our legs out nice and long, and we once again have the opportunity to walk your glutes back one leg at a time. Coming back through to that staff pose. So shoulders roll down away from your ears, low belly is gently pulled in to support your back. Let's start with that left leg long. Left hand's going to come close by the base of your spine. Right leg is going to cross over the left. We're gonna switch. Right leg is gonna stay long. Left hand is still close by the base of your spine. Left ankle crosses over the right. Can you get your whole sole of the foot flat on the floor? And before you turn or twist, because yes, the spine twist is coming your way, still facing forward towards your feet, I want you to use your inhale, press into your little kickstand hand, lift your chest up, roll your shoulders down and back, and then inhale your right arm up and over, or maybe right hand just grabs hold of your knee. Shoulders are still rolled down and back and chest is lifted. Open your shoulders, open your chest, open your shoulders, open your chest. We're starting to create a spine twist here. Once you can't open your shoulders and your chest anymore, inhale, find length through the crown of your head and still nice long lift, and exhale, turn and twist. So your spine twist might be very minimal. It might hardly even be a bit of a twist while you still have this length in your spine. But keep that length instead of that rounding and that pressure, and see what can happen for you today. Shoulders relax away from your ears. Eye gaze gently on one spot. We'll spend 1 more minute here. So keeping your belly pulled in here is going to keep your back feeling good. It's going to help you to continue to create that length, still pressing down through both sit bones to the floor. Got a nice counter stretch coming your way. So just hang out here for about 2 more breaths. Chin neutral to the floor, leg through the crown of your head, chest is still lifted. For 1 more slow, deep inhale. And on your exhale, let's bring our hands over to the right side. You can roll gently to the right glute for a moment. Take that counter twist and then sit yourself back up. Right leg is going to fold in. Right shin in line with the top of the mat, and your left foot should be on the outside of your right knee. And from here, you're just going to sit your glutes down, and your 2 legs are going to do their best to stack in a nice double pigeon fire logs. Now, it is very normal if your hips are really tight that this left knee is coming all the way to your chest. So you can take your block or a sock or your rolled up strap to try and work it into that space, and then have your legs stacked on top of each other. Flex your toes in towards each other and work to exhale, create some heaviness, both sit bones down to the floor. We've got just about a minute to go right here. Hands can always be on the floor to support you in this big hip opener. Hands can also be helping to apply that pressure to bring your 2 legs towards each other. Find what's right for you, and it doesn't need to look the same today as it might have any other time that you've done double pigeon, because it's a whole new day. Whole new day, whole new breath right now. Great. Hands can come behind you if they weren't already there. Go ahead, kick your legs out nice and long. Take a moment. You can bob your knees, windshield wipe your feet. You can even roll your shoulders down and back. Take a nice big supported back bend here. And then back to that stack. So if that rounding came to your low back, walk your glutes back one at a time. This time, right hand's going to come close by the base of your spine. Shoulders roll down away from your ears. You're still facing forward as you cross your right leg over the left, working to bring the sole of the foot flat to the floor. Left arm can reach up and over or just grab hold of your leg. Keep those shoulders down and back. Keep your belly pulled in and work to open your shoulders, open your chest. Eye gaze is still forward while you're opening shoulders and chest. And when you can't open anymore, then you turn, twist, look over your shoulder. We got about 1 minute to go here before we'll take that counter twist. So keep rising up. Keep rolling your shoulders down and back. Keep your belly engaged. You got your kickstand hand behind you for some support. Last few breaths. One more big inhale. And then let's slowly untwist. Take that counter twist. Hands come to the opposite side. Glutes might lift off of the floor. Stretch. And then press yourself up. This time we're going to bend the left leg. Left shin comes in line parallel with the top of your mat. And your right foot is just outside of your knee. As you exhale, sit yourself down. Those two legs stack on top of each other. Toes flex in. Whole new side of the body. So maybe your knees, your shins really stack, or once again, you have the option to bring your block in. Hands can be behind you for some support. Your hand can also press down to work to bring those two shins more on top of each other. Flex your toes towards each other. You use your blocks, use your props, use your body, however you need to get this last hip opener together for the day. Just over a minute to go. Awesome sauce. Option to bring your hands behind you for some support if they weren't already there. Uncross your legs. Let's extend them nice and long this time. Windshield wipe your feet, bob your knees, give yourself that supported little back bend. And then let's come down to the floor for a nice big heart opener, opening ourselves to all the amazing possibilities out there before final Savasana. So we're going to use our two blocks. One block's going to come right between your shoulder blades, and the other block is going to be supporting your head at the back of your mat. I like to lower myself down, knees bent, rolling down onto my elbows to help bring that block right to your mid upper back. So your chest is rounded and lifting. And then you got this head block supporting you. I like my head block on the low setting, but you might prefer it on the high setting. You might even prefer this block that's on your back to not be on the high setting. So do find what feels right for you and then make any adjustment with your legs. Legs can go long, legs can come back into that bound angle. Maybe they're just in something more like a cross-legged position. And then feel free to find a nice stretch with your elbows. See how it feels to have your hands low and your hands high and how that adjusts the way that your shoulder blades squeeze in towards your block. And then find stillness with your eyes, either closed or focus on one spot. Come back to that slow, relaxed breath. And if this reclined, supported fish pose is not working for you, then simply relax yourself into your savasana. We'll meet you in a few moments and a few breaths. Scan your body head to toe. What and where can you relax? Relaxing your eyes and your eyebrows, relaxing your lips and your tongue and your jaw, relaxing your shoulders and your chest, your hands, your heart, your low belly. Take some tension out of your glutes, out of your thighs, out of your calves, your ankles, and your toes. And once you've made it all the way to the tippy toes, come back to the top of your head and once again, encourage yourself to relax a little bit more. If you set an intention for your practice while your heart is open here, it's a beautiful time to come back to it. And if you didn't set an intention for today's practice, it's never too late to think of a positive thought or affirmation that you can repeat to calm and encourage yourself. Perhaps you even just reflect on something that you've done for yourself or someone else this week that can bring a smile to your face, that can expand your heart. You're welcome to stay here in the supported fish pose for a lot or a little bit longer. We only have a few minutes left together today, and I want to make sure that you do create time for a final savasana. So option to join me and get into it now or commit to taking one before you do get off of your mat. If you're going to release from supported fish pose, soles of the feet can come back to the floor and maybe knees fall over to one side. Use an elbow to help remove your blocks. Might be graceful, might be a little fish flippity flop. No judgment. When you're ready though, extend your legs nice and long. Maybe legs are open wide, maybe arms are open wide, or maybe everything's close to your center line, even with the hand on your heart. and one hand on your belly. Taking this time at the end of practice to honor yourself and let all of your asanas and your breath and your intentions sink in. And as you're relaxing your stillness on the floor, you might notice still a little bit of buzzing throughout your body. And that's an awesome thing. Letting your blood flow move through, helping to break down scar tissue, the buildup that we have. More mobility, more breath, more flexibility. Thank you so much for coming and joining me today, for creating time for you. Such a beautiful thing. I hope you'll continue to take time this weekend to invest in yourself, in your physical and mental health. Because if no one has told you today, I want you to know that you are worth it, that you are worthy, that there is no one better to be than yourself. So continue to create this time for yourself to think good thoughts, to speak good words, to eat good foods and do good deeds and nourish yourself from the inside out. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your practice, a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.